Yo, what's going on, guys? Sekapoko here, bringing you another 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross video. For this video, we're going to be going over things that you should know about 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. I did a video about this about 4 months ago, about 2 months into the game, and I figure since it's about 6 months into the game, it's probably time to go over another one, just in case you guys don't know these things. These are the things that every player should know, and if you don't know these things by now, then you really should know them, and big oopsie. If you haven't checked out this video, this is another video. Some of the things are a little outdated, but about 95% of them are going to be good to go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alrighty, boys and girls, let's get this show on the road. So the first thing we got to know about is Bluestones. Bluestones are a thing that a lot of people ask me to get because, you know, you're trying to figure out exactly how you can level up all your equipment, and you want to know what's the best way that you can get Bluestones so that you can build out lots and lots of gear. Well, the number one way of getting Bluestones, if you can see it in my inventory, is farming crap loads of equipment. As you can see it right here, I have a buttload of equipment that I've already pre-farmed, and that's allowing me to get lots and lots of stuff. So what to do when you get that equipment? Well, you salvage it. But do you salvage it in the base form? No. When you salvage it, any kind of equipment in the base form, what happens is you get a set amount of resources. It's not really a lot. If you do salvage anything that is in a +1 state or a +5 state, which is this little modifier up here, the green +1 or +5, that allows you to get more Bluestones and more Redstones. The most Redstones will come from +1, and the most Bluestones will come from +5. The next obvious question, of course, after that is, should you +5 the SR equipment and rare equipment that you get? At this point in the game, probably not. There's a lot of ways to get SR stones and SSR stones in this game, and I would say that for newer players, you can go ahead and +5 your SR gear. No one should be +5ing rare gear at all, but newer players, if you're within the first month of the game and you want to +5 all the rare equipment too, go for it. Personally, I just don't want to do that because it doesn't really sound great to me. So of course I'm going to do this, and then salvage, and then that will get me some Bluestones. It's the best way to get Bluestones. There are other ways of doing it, of course, because you can get Redstones and Bluestones from doing that. The other way of getting Bluestones is, of course, by pulling on the gear gacha or equipment draw. This allows you to get awakening stones and a lot of other things, hammers, anvils, etc., and of course SSR and SR equipment. Which leads me to number 2 on the list, which is, how do you get anvils? Well, one of the ways of getting anvils, of course, is through the equipment draw. The rates on getting an anvil, I think, are like 5% or something like that. I gotta look it up. Anvils are 5% on the equipment draw. Now, every so often, what's going to happen is there's going to be an equipment draw rate up where they actually increase the rates of anvils, Bluestones, and hammers. This allows you to get more anvils, hammers, and Bluestones on your account, which allows you to get more stuff for rerolling your gear. Kind of see how that works out. I'm going to go ahead and do some equipment draws here, and you can, of course, see me getting some anvils. So yeah, you can see how many keys I'm using here, and you can actually go over to this results screen. This results screen will show you how many anvils and hammers that you're getting over time. Damn, I'm hella lucky right now. 40 anvils? I got 4 hammers? Oh my god. Oh my god. What happened? I got 4 hammers. Okay, 5 hammers? Okay, I can't stop because oh my god, 6 hammers? I thought this was an anvil building, bro. What happened? Okay, this apparently is the way to get hammers too, by the way. So by the way, the rate of getting anvils is about, hammers is about 1 every, okay, we're a luck right now, But the rate of getting hammers is basically once every 3 million gold or once every 15 multi-draws or 150 keys. So I just got crazy lucky there on accident. But this is one of the ways of getting anvils. Another way of getting anvils, of course, is doing the guild boss. Now, over here in the rewards section here, there's actually a way to get a total of 100 anvils every single week by completing, I believe it's up to 1,800 total points that you need on the guild boss for any of the difficulties. That allows you to get the most amount of stuff. When do guilds unlock? Chapter 6. And when should you be able to get into a guild? Whenever you can. Just make sure to log into your guild every day with the prayer stone, and of course, do the guild boss every week. And the final way of getting anvils is this dude over here in the PvP arena. You're going to go over here to this dude, and you go to the miscellaneous tab, go to silver, and then there are the anvils. You can buy a total of, what is it? 200 a week until you can reset the shop. If you want to reset the shop at any time, it costs 1 diamond, and then you can buy yourself more anvils. If you want to do that continuously, of course, you can use coin food or festival coin food, of course, to get more coins. What is that food? Well, if I go to the PvP vendor over here, in the PvP arena, I go to the Eat Dish venue, and all the way at the bottom here, it says festival coin food. This, of course, will increase the amount of festival coin gain that you get from eating festival coin food, and there are many different kinds. And if you don't have any right now, you, of course, can make some, and you can buy it, make it right here. Next, the thing I'm going to be asking, of course, is equipment. What kind of equipment should you be using on blank character? Well, for a DPS character, you, of course, want to typically go with an attack and defense set. It's going to be 4 pieces of attack gear and 2 pieces of defense gear. You can alternate those defense pieces out with, of course, crit damage gear, and crit damage gear, if I have some, I think, crit damage gear, looks like that. Holy shit, that's a minute. Okay. You can alternate with attack and crit damage if you want to. For tankier characters or support characters, you typically want to go with an HP and defense set. And of course, the next question is going to ask, of course, is how many gear sets you're going to need? Infinity. You need infinity gear sets. Every single variant of every character needs 1 gear set. So if you want to have an Escador gear set, a Gother gear set, a King gear set, a Lilia gear set, a Derriere gear set, etc., all of them are going to need gear sets, and you're going to need to specifically get them for a lot of different characters. Why do you need that? Well, of course, because you're going to need that because there is a thing called UR gear, and UR gear is the rarity of gear that allows you to get extra stats on specific characters for their gear. Not every character has it, of course, and the way you get it is by engraving that, the equipment to a specific character. You can see that this one has an engraving toward Derriere. Upon equipping Derriere, she gets an additional 395 attack because it has UR gear specifically for her. If I go over to Merlin here in the tavern, I can see I can actually go over and actually engrave any character. It's going to cost a total of 10 engraving stones and, of course, 1 SSR Bluestone in order to engrave it to any character. You can actually have to engrave it to a specific character, and you must engrave it to that character and that character subset alone. Unfortunately, there are 2 characters that are kind of annoying with this. The first character that's a little bit annoying is Dreyfus, and Dreyfus is not sharing anything with the new character that's going to be coming out, Fraudrin. And the second thing that's really annoying, of course, is these slime collaboration units are not in here. So if you were playing in collaboration, they have never received UR gear. Alrighty, so the next thing we're going to be going over is combat class. Combat class is a little bit more complicated, so I'm going to be going this piece by piece. And we're going to be talking about how you can gain combat class on each character. Now, the total amount of combat class on this Escanor right now with no gear on, just for easiest, is going to be 26,738 combat class. Now, let's break that down into components so you can see how you can get it. Now, attack value gives you a 1-to-1 ratio on combat class, so he's actually gaining a total of 6,220 combat class from his base attack. For defense, he's actually getting about 80% of his defense for combat class, giving him a total of 3,420 combat class from defense. And then from HP, he has a total of 66,000 HP, giving him a total of 20% of his HP value at 13,244. Now, his total ultimate ability is going to give him an additional 400 combat class per ultimate level, including the base ultimate level, I believe, and that gives you a total of 1,200 additional combat class. Now, that's 13,244 plus 3,420 plus 1,200 plus the additional from the attack, 6,220. That gives you up to 24,000 total combat class out of the 26,738. The last thing that you can get of combat class are going to be 2 different things. First is going to be the passive. I believe you get an extra 1,000 combat class from the passive. Just from having a passive, I believe. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it's either 1,000 or 500 or something. I don't know, somewhere in there. But the rest of it's going to be from your substats. You can see substats is the remaining value that you have for all of the total amount of points. Now, substats, I believe, if we wanted to just... It's like 2-to-1, I think. I think it's like 2-to-1, about 2-to-1, because at the end of the day, it's up to about 26,284. So around 2-to-1 is what you get from substats. It's a little bit different. I don't know. So it's different per substat and it's so weird. But basically, the major amount of combat class, so you know, out of all the substats, if it like 1%, like you get about 1,000, maybe a little bit more combat class from all the substats combined. You get a little bit more. You get a little bit more than that from the passive ability, of course, but you can only get that once. Ultimate abilities is a big bump. You can see from the last little squeeze out that you get there. But the major ones you're going to get, of course, are going to be HP. The primary one is HP. The second value for the second highest value is attack. The third highest value is defense. And then the fourth highest value is ultimate level. So those are the 4 biggest ways of gaining combat class of any character. And of course, boosting substats in other ways, of course, will give you minor gains on substats as you progress, but really so minor that it's not noticeable. The next thing we're going to be asked, of course, is going to be how do you increase what's called your box combat class, or your total box CC. And the reason that's important is because when you do increase your box CC, what happens is you actually get these increased modifiers that gives you extra HP on your entire team. It gives you a total of, at maximum right now, 6% extra HP. On JP, I believe the maximum is 12% at 4 million box CC. So we got a ways to go until we get there, but eventually that's where it leads up. Okay, so to increase your box CC, the best way to do it, of course, is to level up all your characters. Of course, get them all to level 80, get them all to 6-star awakening here. You can do that by getting over time. It takes about 4 or 5 months to get to this point. It really depends on where you want to go. But it takes about 3 or 4 months to get every character in your entire box to 6-star if you really want to, if you were doing it free to play. It would take about 6 months. That really depends on your level of grind and how much time you want to put it in the game. After that, it's really going to just depend on leveling up your characters, and that will take up a good chunk of time as well. As you can see, I'm nowhere near finished with my box, and on GP, I'm nowhere near with my box either, but of course, I have most of my characters you are. And if I did get some more characters, that would boost my box CC even further. But if I do run out of character upgrade materials, and I run out of awakening materials, run out of the 6-star awakening materials, all that stuff, what's the next step? Well, the next thing that you can do to increase your box CC is just randomly equip each character in your box with gear. The reason that it's important is because the way box CC is calculated is based off the total amount of combat class that each character has in your character box. And that does include equipment. So if you do want to go through and equip equipment to all of your characters, that is a great way, of course, to get box CC up. I'm personally not doing that right now because I've already hit my box CC requirement and I wanted to get Bluestones, so I salvaged a lot of the equipment that I had on these characters, and I can actually go to a much higher value of combat class if I do want to increase my box CC even further by equipping characters. Next thing we're going to be talking about is associations, and we're going to be talking about associations, association gear, and what is the best way to get the most value out of associations. So with a recent patch update, probably about 2 months ago, there was a patch update that allowed us to say, okay, even if I have a character at 6 out of 6 ultimate, it's actually better to go with a character that has one of these little cross symbols, or a fate combination, or a combined attack combination bonus here that will give me an extra 1,000 combat class. Because I have this character at max ultimate, he actually will give more stats. If you didn't know, if I go to a character who doesn't have max ultimate, I only get 5% base stats, and if I go to a character that of course has max ultimate, that character will give me a total of 10% base stats. Let's go to like Slater. Here we go. No, wrong Slater. 10%. There you go. Nice. And of course, Slater, because he has a special association bonus, will give me 280 attack. So if I wanted to use him, he would give me 280 attack. Because I have my king at maximum ultimate gauge, of course, he will get 1,000 combat class because it has the fate combination, or the little swords crossing. Now, the thing that really matters for association gear, a lot of people do ask me, is do I go for an attack and defense set, an HP and defense set? What is the best set for association? Well, I do have an entire video about that specifically, and I go over it into very, very, very big detail on what the best way to go is, how you can get the big gains in the association characters. Link to that video is going to be over there. Hopefully I'll remember to put it in the video, and it'll go over these best gear that you should be putting on your associations. Essentially, the thing I want you to know is, did you know that if you put an HP and defense set on your association, it's going to give you more combat class? But if you do an HP and defense set on, say, a Derriere association for like Demon Meliodas, you're going to get less damage because that's a character you need damage on. So you definitely need to have characters that have high damage on your damage characters for association, and you need characters with high HP for more combat class for your other characters. Next thing up we're going to be going over is going to be called is resistance versus defense, and which is better. So resistance, if you did not know, is the way that you can actually reduce the amount of damage that you're taking from enemies by a fixed value. And that fixed value is going to be the resistance percentage multiplied by your total amount of defense. And that is added then on to your total amount of damage resistance at the end. So resistance gives you another fixed value of damage resistance that can actually potentially be better than defense. Defense is, of course, the modifier that they have right here that's just going to reduce raw attack damage cards from cards. If you need to know more about the damage calculation function, link to that video over there. Hopefully that I do remember to put it in, but that'll give you an idea. So for characters, what's better, resistance or defense? Well, on some characters, it's actually better to go resistance. And why is that? Well, first off, there's a character named Valenti. If you didn't know what she does, she reduces everybody's attack based up. Valenti has a passive ability that's going to reduce all and decrease all pierce rate by the value of her resistance rate, which is actually going to increase your entire resistance rate on your entire team. If you're running Valenti with your team, of course, it's really good to run resistance on your team because then you have an incredibly high fixed damage value resistance, which then negates all boss damage, which allows you to, quote unquote, patience the boss. It's a very, very good way to go. Another character that goes really well with resistance rate is going to be Gowther. And Red Gowther works incredibly well with resistance rate because Red Gowther is one of those few characters that you don't want to take any damage at all on. But if you do take damage from a single target attack, it's totally fine because you'll take a little bit more damage, but against an area effect attack, you can negate a lot of those damage hits. So it's actually better to go with, on certain characters like Gowther, if we go with a full resistance roll. Personally, do I have a resistance set for Gowther? No, because I just cannot be fucked. But if I did, if I could, yes, I would. Association characters, though, it's much better to go for defense because then it will boost your total amount of defense that you're giving to your main character. So it is better to go with defense for any association character gear, and you must do that, otherwise you're not going to get any real gains from the gear. You're going to want to go with attack, defense, and HP for all the rolls, and of course defense is a little bit better than resistance in that case. For a main character, let's just say if you were going to be running, I don't know, Broskinor, is it better to go resistance or defense? He already has a really high amount of resistance rate already with his gear, and you can just go with a mixture. It really doesn't matter. As far as the total amount of resistance / defense that you get from it, you do get less combat class, of course, from resistance, which can negate some of the amount of that you're getting out of it. If you do want to go with resistance value, it's not a terrible idea. If you want to go with the defense value, it's totally fine as well. It really just depends on what you find to be the most valuable for you. For most people, defense values and resistance values matter a lot less than HP values because that's the primary thing that you're going to be taking. And in PvP, typically the hits are so big that you really any resistance value or defense value is kind of negated because you're not going to see a big difference. Second, you have 182 million gold. How do you get gold? What's the best way to get gold? Well, there are a bunch of different ways of getting gold. Right now, there is actually an event on the global version that is called the Rules of Deadly Sins. This is an event that actually allows you to farm gold. Is it good? No. It will be later, though. This is actually a good event that's going to be coming out. This event right here is actually an amazing event, but only when we get something called Nightmare difficulty. It's going to be coming sometime in the next month or two. That's going to allow us to get more gold out of this event. The stamina cost is going to be the same, but you actually get SSR chests instead of just SR chests out of this event. It's a very good way to get gold. That's not how I grind my gold, but it is a way to get gold. There are two ways that I grind my gold currently. The first way I grind my gold is through boss stages, and this is an advanced player tip. This is not a new player tip right here. The second way will be in the new player tip and for pretty much every other player, so bear with me. The reason I do boss stages to get gold is when I do any type of boss stage, what I can do is actually go into here. I can go all the way down and use gold food. By using gold food, I'm actually going to double the amount of gold that I'm getting from the stage. And anytime you do a boss stage, what happens is that the boss stage is going to cost you a total of 10 stamina on half stamina and 20 stamina on normal stamina. On half stamina, I end up farming the boss stages consistently because if I do farm the boss stages, it's really close to the second part of farming, which is going to be the primary way a lot of people get gold. And it's a really good way. Boss stages farming is actually one of the best farming spots for most players because if you are a newer player, you should probably be focusing on boss stages. If you've been farming for about 1 or 2 months and you're trying to just get gold or a bunch of different things, boss stages is an incredible way for you to do that. You should mix between all of the boss stages, not one of them. And the reason you should mix between a lot of the boss stages is because when you're doing boss stages on a half stamina, you get 3 different things. The first thing you get is gold. The second thing you get is chalices
Actually, you get 4 things. The third thing you get is going to be SSR and SR equipment. And the fourth thing you get is going to be chalices, awakening materials. So because you get all 4 of those things, you get all the things that you're going to need to level up your account, and you get gold along with it, which is really good. The total amount of gold that you're going to be getting for these runs, including the SSR equipment, is you get about 2,000 gold per stamina used on half stamina. And you also get SSR equipment on top of that, which gives you a nice little icing on top of the cake. It's probably the best way for you to get a lot of stuff. It also gives you awakening materials. And now that's 2,000 gold per stamina if you're going to be using this. If you're going to be selling your chalices. If you're not selling your chalices and using your chalices, then of course you're getting other materials that you need for leveling up your characters on your account. So by getting that 12,000 per stage and then going into my box here and then going over to chalices, I can actually sell any chalices I want to right here and go to sell multiple, and I can sell these chalices for, you can see, 252,000 gold here, another 250,000 gold there, and I can go down to the lower difficulty chalices, sell some of those, and look, there's 1,000,000 gold just lying in my box. And this is just from random farming throughout the week. This is not actually from hardcore farming. And I can sell all of these and not have to worry about it. And if I do want to sell these too, I can, but I just use them. So that's a nice little couple million gold that I have in my box just lying around. That's a nice way of just farming gold passively throughout the week, while also farming all the other materials you need for your account. And eventually you get to a point where you have all your characters 6 stars, so you really don't need chalices, and allows you to sell all your chalices. If you want to sell a whole stack of these chalices, you can see that you get a total of 3.5 million gold, which is pretty much equivalent to if I did sell an entire stack of these books here. Which brings me to my next point. What is the best way for farming gold for everyone if you're just doing raw gold? Well, the highest value per stamina for gold, for just raw gold in the game, is going to be by farming books. Now, books are something that are available as of today. If you're watching this video today, are going to be available on half stamina. Half stamina books come at 7 stamina per book, and then you can, of course, the drop table allows you to get blue books as well as red books and silver books. This allows you to get the most amount of gold in your entire account. Now, what's the best stage to farm? You're going to be wanting to farm the red stage, and you're not going to be running it with a normal Demon Meliodas team. Go ahead and start this run, and I'm going to hit auto, then start. Go. So essentially, the way this team works is you're going to be using Gila in order to clear the stage. Gila is going to do damage to everybody on the field, allowing you to get lots of damage. And her passive abilities makes it so that she gains ultimate gauge every turn where she doesn't get hit. And because she gains ultimate gauge every turn where she doesn't get hit, she's able to clear the stages very quickly and then allow you to get to the final stage and actually one-shot the final phase with your Gila. This is the fastest possible way that you can actually farm gold, because it allows you to clear the stage very, very, very quickly and do tons of damage. You can see here I got my Hauser ultimate and my Gila ultimate up here, and we got some merges in, unfortunately, but we ended up finishing the fun, and we can see here it finishes in about 41-42 seconds, allowing me to get a very, very fast run in. If I use the Gila ultimate, it would have done the same thing, but you get a very, very fast run in. Now from this, of course, you get these books. You can see from this one run here, got 2,400 gold. I ended up getting some books here, and I'm able to get the run completed very quickly. You get gold by selling these books in your inventory, just like you saw me sell the chalices, and that gets you the most amount of gold the quickest in the entire game. You can farm about 50 to 60 million every single weekend using this strategy, but it does charge a fair amount of ability point potions, which is why you should only do it on half stamina. How do you get hammers? Well, hammers are a thing. Let's talk about hammers, and let's talk about first off how you get them. Well, there's 2 ways of getting hammers currently. The first way, well, 3 ways I should say. 3 ways of getting hammers. The first way is what you saw me earlier, of course, through the gear gacha, where you actually go to your event draw and summon there. The second way is through the training cave. Now, the training cave, of course, if you go down here to the training grotto, enter the training grotto, you get a total of, let's see, 10 hammers guaranteed from doing the training grotto. Hammers are a way that you can actually improve your equipment rolls on your gear. So for hammers, when should you use them? Well, if I go down to this gear right here, you'll see I have like a 1.8% defense roll. And then you say, oh, that's a really good time. I should use this hammer here. No, you actually shouldn't be using hammers here. What you should be doing is using anvils to actually get your roll to about 2% or up somewhere around 2.4 to 2.5%. The reason is because anvils are a farmable resource in the game, and you can actually get a large amount of those anvils over time. However,
Hammers are a much more fixed resource, and you should really only be using hammers on gear rolls that are above 2.5% because of how much more rare they are. And because of that, you shouldn't be using them on anything less than 2.5%. The reason being is when you get closer to like 2.8 or 2.9% rolls, you can see here, you're actually only getting around 0.1 or 0.2% per roll, so it's going to require a lot more hammers to get up to the max value. And then you're gonna say, oh wait, Sekapoko, I'm not there yet. I'm a newer player. I don't want to do that. Well, trust me, you're gonna save yourself a lot of hurt in the long run. Please save your hammers. You don't need to have maximum gear right away. You're not gonna get up a big enough of a gain from a hammer use right away. You should only really be using these when you want to go from a 2.8% roll, 2.5% roll up in order to get the most amount of end game gain on your account. Hey Seka, how do I turn the demon invites off? They're super annoying. You should stop seeing them in your actual videos. You can turn them off, right? Yes, I'm aware. But where do you turn them off? Wait, where do you turn them? Oh my god, I'm freaking out. How do you turn off the demon invites? Where do you turn off the demon invites? Guys, so tell me. So the way you turn those off is you go to these right here, you hit the settings on the battle invitation settings, and you can actually just turn them off. So you can turn off all normal and hard invites all together, and then just leave out for extreme if you're an endgame player. If you want to see only the more easier difficulties or just some of them, you can do that. You can also reject all battle invites per day. The way you see that again is through the notification setting, all the way to the settings window. Next to the list, how do you get 10 stamina potions every single day? Stamina or 10 ability point potions. Well, there are 3 different areas that you need to go to every single day in order to get a total of 10 stamina potions. The first way you're gonna get stamina potions is you're gonna go over to Bond, and you're actually just gonna cook one thing every single day. It doesn't matter what you cook any single thing, you cook one thing. You can use Meliodas to cook if you want to get the affection for Meliodas. Whatever you want, just cook one thing per day, and that allows you to get 2 ability point potions per day. These 2 ability potion potions here, boom, ability point potions. There you go, that you can get for a full stamina refill. Next way you get stamina point ability point potions, you go over to the coin shop. Coin shop in here. There is a friendship coin shop that allows you to get these. So if you go into your settings menu, you go to friends, and then you hit the send all button to your friends. This will allow you to send friendship coins to every single friend in your friends list. You go down here, you hit a claim all for all the friendship coins you sent, and look, you get 2,000 friend coins. Wow. Now you go down to your friendship coin shop down here, and of course, go back over to friendship, and then hit this, max out, and there's 5 more. Yeah. But Seka, the math doesn't work out. That's not how you get 2,000 friendship coins. Well, you're absolutely right. What you need to do, of course, is you can get friendship coins by doing raids and a bunch of other things, or you can go to your friend's tavern, which is not as fun, but you can do it if you're really dying and you need AP potions and you want to just squeeze every little fast free resource out of the game. You can go down and sit down here at the tavern, and you can eat the food, and you can see 20 more friendship coins. That'll give you another 200 per day, and you can do this 10 times per day, so it's 200. Last thing you do is go to your knighthood and actually go up to your knighthood lady and say, what's up, girl, how you doing? You looking actually pretty good today. You been working out? I've been noticing. You're looking good. You go to level 4 here. You can buy 3 ability point potions here per day, and it allows you to get 10 total AP potions. Hey, Sekapoko, I don't have enough knighthood coins. How do I get more? Well, it's really simple. Do your demon raids. Do the free demon raids that come your way, and of course, you can actually just go ahead and turn in demon materials for coins. Wow, I don't have a lot, so I can't do that right now. We're gonna be going over the coin shop and what you should focus on, how the rotations work, etc. So every single week there is a new rotation of coin shop units. Now what happens with the coin shop units is the sins will rotate on their own specific rotation. You can see the first character of the rotation is going to be Deanne, then it goes to King, then Bon, then Green Merlin, then Gother, then Demon Meliodas, then Red Escanor. I get asked this a lot, Sekapoko, when is Red Escanor coming on discount to the coin shop? After Demon Meliodas. Okay? It goes in order. There's an order. It goes in order. Okay? Now, the other thing that's going to happen, of course, are commandments. Now, you can see the commandments down here are costing 10 platinum coins per commandment. And there's a total of, 10 commandments. But there's only a few in the game. So, there's Esterosa that's going to be in the game. There's, that will be the next addition to the coin shop, which will be landing in about 3 days as I'm recording this video. Then there, after that is going to be, who's the next character? Well, I mean, it's not 3 days. Maybe it's 10 days. I don't remember when Esterosa left. to be honest with you. I just didn't care enough because I don't really care about Estarossa. Don't hate me. Don't hate me. There's Zeldris. There's Monspeet, Droll, Derriere. Oh, and Gloxinia. Yeah, Gloxinia. Yeah, there we go. Forgot Gloxinia. Yeah, they all come in a rotation. They're going to be on 2 separate rotations. There's actually the Sins rotation and the what's it called? These rotations. And they actually will come in a separate rotation for different limited time units for discounts. So if you're wondering when they come on discount, they come on discount specifically during those time frames. So make sure that you're going to be looking for those. Gold coin shop units are going to be rotating through the same gold rotation as well. And then randomly, there's actually other characters that get added to the gold coin shop, like Red Merlin, Green Meliodas. A lot of them are just going to be part 1 units. So don't expect them to be other just like really good units. They're typically just part 1 units that you're going to get for the part 1 banner. Oh yeah, don't forget your daily free coin. Free SSR chest. Next thing we're going to be going over is going to be affection from farming. Now, I have an entire video on affection. Hopefully, I will remember this, but link to that video, it's going to be over there. It gives you an entire breakdown of affection, but here's a nuts and bolts of thing on affection. Essentially, you can get diamond from affection, and the way that works is that you can give characters gifts, you can go talk to them, and do lots of different things. But the best way to get affection, of course, is by farming stages with those units. So if you have already finished farming with your Meliodas, as I have right here, you make sure to go and farm with other units in order to get those done. How much affection do you get per stage? It is the equivalent to the amount of stamina that you would have burned on the stage. So if it costs 5 stamina to burn the stage, then of course you would get 5 affection points. And of course that takes a while. And so this is a long-term thing, not a short-term thing. Number 15, I'm extra big for. Every single day you actually have the opportunity to do this in gyro mode. Now gyro mode is the ability to just be extra weird about it. You know, why you gotta be weird about it, you know what I'm saying? And then, okay, so you're gonna go over here. Yes, I would like to go over there. And then, yes, I would like to go upstairs. Climb up the stairs. Oh, Captain Princess room. What's over there? Oh, God. You can actually just, you can stop being weird about it, Saki. You just, like, flip through the thing, right? I can click this thing. I get gold. Oh, my God. Oh, look, more gold. Oh, look in there. More gold. Okay, so these are all useless, by the way. In King and Bond's room, you can see here's King on the side over here. There's Helbram's Helmet. If you go to Helbram's Helmet, you open up the Helbram helmet, and look, there's a PvP ticket, which has you 1 free PvP stamina per day. Pretty much everything else is useless, but that's kind of cool. Oh, look, a chest. Look how glorious. What's in it? 500 gold. Yeah, so don't do that. Alright guys, well my name is Sekapoko. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and the continuation of a video I made 4 months ago, because I thought this was a good time to put it out because we're close to 6-month anniversary, and I hope these tips help you out. Let me know if you in the comment section below how many of these 15 things you guys actually knew, because I bet you I taught you at least one. Have a great day, guys. Peace.